Welcome to my channel, Car Guide UK. This is where you have to get up and fix it. Please subscribe and remember to click the bell if you want more videos like this. Okay guys, we're just going to strip the engine down now. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to fast forward through all of this. I know that I'm not showing you sizes and stuff like that. The only reason being is because I'm going to show you all the sizes and everything that you need to know and see when we go to put this all back together. So we're going to go through it then. But I'm just showing you how to strip it down. So the first thing you need to do is just take off the catalytic converter. So that's done by 3 bolts on the side of the turbo, as you can see there. And there is also one more bolt down the bottom, which we took off in the first place. You will need to get a pry bar or something just to help you sort of like ease it off, because they are quite stiff when they're on there, but we'll show you that now. So there you go. Once you've got it off, you should have that sitting like that. So just take them out the way. The next thing that we do is we actually replace the bolts. So put the bolts back where they came from so you know where they go. You don't want to lose them. And then we'll just take off the heat shield next. So the next thing to take off is going to be the heat shield. So we'll take that off. That is held on by 2 little sort of, there's 2 little catches on there, sort of just like push fit catches there, as you can see at the top. They just hold on to the top of the part of the engine there. Right, so we need to now take off these turbo pipes, all the pipes, the cooling pipes that are going up onto the turbo for the oil feed and the cooling feed. We do need to remove those. I do undo or loosen a few of these pieces. There are some bits that you don't really need to undo if you don't want to, but it's probably best if you take off as much as you can, but remember to replace every bolt and put every bolt back where you got it from, because it will be really difficult to try and put this together once you've done so. Right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to try and take the exhaust manifold off. What we'll do is we will just take these bolts out and then we'll come back to it in a moment, because you will have to take quite a lot of stuff off at the top. You will need to try and prise it away with a pry bar again, which you will see in a moment. There are these 2 sort of weird cut out of metal that go before you put them in, but I don't know if you have to replace them or not. One of mine was broken, so this is why I'm stripping it down, because there's been an accident, so I'm just making sure there's no leaks, no oil leaks, and make sure the head gasket's okay and such. So we will just check that in a moment. Right, so here we go. So we're just sort of prising it away, but we'll come back to that in a moment because there's a few more bits to take off. When you're doing the belt, you need to take the belt off. If you want to take off the alternator and you want to take off the air con pump, you will need to take the belt off because it's holding it all in place. And there's a few things in the way for you to get to some of the other bolts. So the first thing to do is to prise up take the tension off the tensioner there, so pry that up and then put a pin in place. You can buy pin kits, but I just managed to find something that will go in the hole for now. You don't want to leave it on tension all the time, you just want it so the belt is loose. If you have the 1.4 version like I do, you can use this, pause this, and use this as a guide for how the belt goes back on, because that's what I'm going to be doing when I come to putting a new belt on, which I'm going to go grab at some point when we put the engine all back together. And, you know, this is just a good way of knowing how it goes. So what you want to do is obviously just pin that in place, take the belt off. Once you have the belt off and in your hands, then you can go and take the alternator off, and then after that you can take the AC pump off. So we'll show you how to take the alternator off quickly now. So you will need to take 2 bolts that are holding it on from the top and the bottom. So they are just holding it in there, and once you've got those out, they're quite long bolts. Again, if you can keep them with it or just keep them on the engine, then at least you know where they go. This is obviously just stripped down just to make sure that everything's working and that there's nothing broken from where it had the impact, because we need to check all that. Now we're moving on to the aircon pump. We did have one of the aircon pipes that goes off the top of it that's broken, and also the pulley bit on the end of that's all smashed to pieces, so we will have to replace the end of it. It'd probably be cheaper to just go grab one off eBay. Right, so here we're just taking off the tensioner piece, so we're going to take that off as well just to get that out of the way, because we're possibly going to paint the engine up as well just so it looks all nice and fresh for when it goes back in the car. Stuff that you can't do while it's in the vehicle. Right, so now we are stripping down the rest of the pipe. So what you want to do is just take all these turbo pipes off. It is recommended that you replace all the turbo gasket seals when you put these back together. And again, if you take a bolt out, remember how it goes. As you can see, this one is sitting over the top of another turbo pipe, so you want to make sure you do it in this rotation. And there is a small section along the top there, the metal section, that these turbo pipes go onto. I don't know if you can see that, but it's all rusted up, so we're going to give that a nice sand down and give it a good paint for when we put it back on. But like I said, guys, this video is just to help you. If you've stripped your engine down, you're like, oh my god, I can't remember how to put these back together, you can just slow the video down and just pause it at stages and then just use this as a guide. So like I said, with sizes wise, we will have to go through that at some stage when we're putting the vehicle back together. So just slowing it down here, just doing a little bit just before the end, just to show you guys what it looks like in real time. So these are all, they all have at the end sort of like vacuum seals on them where they're sort of like pushed in really well, because obviously you don't want to have any leaks or anything. You don't want the turbo to get affected. If you are replacing the turbo for a brand new one, you will need to prime the turbo. I do have a video on that on my other channel, which will be coming over to this one at some point. As you can see there are quite a few Torx heads, and there's loads of different sizes for it. So what I want to do is I want to talk you through it as I put the engine back together. We'll put it back together a piece at a time once it's painted, and we'll talk about sizes and where everything goes. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that video, guys. Right, so there you go, I've got that piece off. We're just going to carry on stripping it down as much as we possibly can, because we're doing all this because you can't get the manifold off without taking all these pipes off, so you have to remove all these pipes, unfortunately. But as you can see here, I am putting every single bolt back where I got it from, so I know where they go when it comes to putting it all together. Because you know, the worst thing is when you come back to doing it and you have to buy all new bolts because you can't remember where they go. The easiest way to do it is just put them back in where you got them from. Right, as we do these up, tediously do these bolts back up and put them back into position. As you can see, everything is now coming loose. I'm just going to check it all over, make sure that everything is okay. Again, it sort of like revealed all the stuff on the top there, so we can check for leaks, we can check for damage, whether because the engine has taken quite a big hit. We should have possibly tested the engine really to see if it run beforehand. Well, we didn't, but a lot of stuff was broken, and I didn't want to start it up with all broken stuff on there, so I'd rather just replace the broken stuff first. Right, so there we go. So we have another bolt there that we just need to undo just to get the rest of that plate off. So we'll probably fast forward through this again in a moment, just taking off the manifold, and we'll finish the video there. This is as much as the engine we've stripped down at the moment before we've gone and painted all the bits that we've taken off. But I just wanted to show you the video, fast forward through it, get through where we are at the stage on the Project Audi, just so you know, because this is kind of stage 2. We will go and show you how to pull the chassis legs on the vehicle as well. There'll be loads of upcoming vehicle videos coming up for this vehicle, so make sure you check that out. Right, so now we're just going to fast forward through taking off the manifold. So the manifold comes off with the turbo, so you need to make sure you do that. And there you go. So you have a nice clean block there, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and catch you guys on the next video. See you real soon. Bye-bye.